Man attacks black woman in gym, unaware she's a Navy SEAL. The gym was quiet that evening, save for the rhythmic hum of treadmills and the clang of weights being racked. Among the handful of patrons was Olivia Carter, a strikingly fit black woman with a calm intensity about her. Dressed in a simple tank top and leggings, she moved through her workout with precision and focus, her body a testament to years of discipline. What the others didn't know, and what she preferred to keep private, was that Olivia was a Navy SEAL, one of the elite few who had passed the grueling training to serve in one of the most demanding military units in the world. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below. Across the room, a man named Derek watched her intently. He was tall and broad-shouldered, the kind of guy who enjoyed being the center of attention. Derek wasn't used to being ignored, and Olivia's indifference to him only fueled his curiosity and his ego. "Hey there!" he called out as she paused between sets. Olivia glanced up briefly but didn't respond, instead focusing on adjusting the weights for her next exercise. Derek wasn't deterred. He sauntered over, flashing a confident grin. "You've got some serious moves. Bet you could use a spotter, though." "I'm good, thanks," Olivia said, her tone polite but firm. Most men might have taken the hint, but not Derek. He leaned closer, his voice dropping to what he probably thought was a charming tone. "Come on, don't be like that. We could grab a drink after this. I'll even show you a few tips, free of charge." Olivia straightened and looked him in the eye. "I said I'm good." The sharpness in her voice caught him off guard, and for a moment he hesitated. But the rejection stung his pride, and his attraction to her quickly twisted into resentment. "Fine," he muttered, stepping back. "Didn't realize you were one of those stuck-up types." Olivia ignored him and returned to her workout, but she could feel his eyes on her. She had dealt with men like Derek before, men who couldn't handle being told no. Normally she'd brush it off, but something about his energy felt different, more volatile. As she moved to the punching bag area to finish her routine, Derek followed, his presence looming behind her. "You think you're better than me, don't you?" he sneered, his voice low but laced with anger. Olivia didn't turn around. "Walk away," she said evenly. But Derek didn't walk away. Instead, he grabbed her arm, his grip tight and aggressive. "Don't you dare talk to me like that," he growled. Before he could say another word, Olivia's training kicked in. She twisted her arm free with a fluid motion, using his own strength against him. Derek staggered back, startled by her speed. "You don't want to do this," Olivia warned, her voice calm but firm. But Derek's anger had boiled over. Embarrassed and enraged, he lunged at her, his fists swinging wildly. Olivia sidestepped him with ease, her movements precise and controlled. As he turned to attack again, she delivered a swift kick to his midsection, knocking the wind out of him. He doubled over, gasping for air, but Olivia wasn't done. With a calculated strike, she swept his legs out from under him, sending him crashing to the ground. By now, other gym-goers had stopped what they were doing, their eyes wide as they watched the scene unfold. Derek tried to get up, but Olivia placed a firm foot on his chest, pinning him in place. "I told you to walk away," she said, her voice steady but carrying an edge that left no room for argument. Derek's bravado evaporated, replaced by a mix of fear and humiliation. "I'm sorry," he sputtered. "I didn't mean—" "You don't get to harass people because they don't give you what you want," Olivia said, leaning closer. "Next time, think twice before you put your hands on someone." She stepped back, allowing him to scramble to his feet. Derek avoided her gaze as he hurried out of the gym, his swagger completely gone. The other gym-goers erupted into applause, but Olivia raised a hand to quiet them. "It's handled," she said simply, returning to her workout as though nothing had happened. Later that night, as Olivia walked home, she reflected on the incident. Men like Derek were everywhere, convinced their entitlement gave them the right to control others. But Olivia knew better. She had faced far greater threats in her career, and she wasn't about to let someone like him take away her power. The next day, the gym manager informed her that Derek's membership had been revoked, and several patrons approached her to thank her for standing up to him. Olivia, ever humble, shrugged off their praise. For her, it wasn't about heroics. It was about setting boundaries and reminding the world that strength isn't just physical, it's knowing when to stand your ground and refusing to let fear dictate your actions. As the days passed, Olivia thought little of the altercation. For her, it had been a minor inconvenience, nothing compared to the missions she'd endured or the challenges she'd overcome as a Navy SEAL. But for others, the story had become a sensation. Witnesses at the gym shared what they saw, and word spread quickly. Soon, local news outlets were covering the incident, dubbing her the Gym Defender. Olivia wasn't thrilled about the attention. She valued her privacy, and the spotlight was the last thing she wanted. Yet, the narrative kept growing, taking on a life of its own. Strangers began recognizing her on the street, thanking her for standing up to Derek. She even received messages from women who shared their own stories of harassment, saying her actions had inspired them to be braver in confronting such behavior. Meanwhile, Derek's life had taken a downward spiral. Videos of the incident, captured on gym security cameras and by bystanders, had gone viral. He became a meme, the poster child for entitled arrogance. His name was plastered all over social media, and he was shamed not only for his harassment, but also for how easily he had been taken down by Olivia. At first, Derek was furious. He blamed everyone but himself for what had happened. But as the days turned into weeks, the humiliation forced him to confront his behavior. One night, he sat alone in his apartment, scrolling through the comments on one of the viral posts. Amid the ridicule were a few comments that hit harder than he expected. Imagine feeling so small that you need to attack someone to feel powerful. This guy's problem isn't strength, it's respect. Learn it. She gave him a chance to walk away. He chose violence. That's on him. Derek stared at the screen, the words burning into his mind. For the first time, he began to wonder if he had been the problem all along. One morning, Olivia was at the gym again, this time in a quieter corner practicing her stretches. She was mid-set when she heard an unfamiliar voice behind her. "Excuse me, Olivia?" She turned, her eyes narrowing slightly as she saw Derek standing there. He looked different, nervous, almost vulnerable. I just wanted to apologize," he said, his voice unsteady. "For what I did, for how I acted. I was wrong, and I shouldn't have treated you that way." Olivia studied him for a long moment. She could see the discomfort in his posture, the way his hands fidgeted at his sides. "I appreciate the apology," she said finally, her tone measured. "But it's not me you need to make amends with. It's yourself." Derek's brows furrowed in confusion. "What do you mean?" "I mean, this isn't just about one incident," Olivia continued. "It's about how you see people, how you treat them. You need to figure out why you think it's okay to act that way in the first place. Until you do, an apology doesn't mean much." Derek nodded slowly, her words hitting him harder than he expected. I'll think about that." "Good," Olivia said simply, turning back to her workout. Derek left the gym that day feeling both lighter and heavier. Lighter because he had taken a step toward accountability, heavier because he realized just how much work he had to do on himself. For Olivia, life moved on. She remained the calm, focused presence she had always been, navigating her world with quiet strength. But the incident served as a reminder to everyone who heard about it. True power isn't just about physical strength. It's about respect, resilience, and the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity. Drop a comment if you enjoyed this story. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll make me very happy. Thank you, and I look forward to your like.